Hey everyone, Temporal here, and today I want to do a little bit of a mini guide on Ana play. We're not going to focus on everything for Ana. I want this to just be a short 5 minute or so guide on two really big things that Ana's can improve on. I have done lots and lots of reviews of Ana players. She is a very popular hero, but rather than go into sleep dart or positioning, which take longer to work on, we're going to go into two of the easy things to make improvements on that get really big returns, and those are Nade usage and Nanos. So let's start with Nade usage. If we go through nades, there's a couple types of valid nades. The first valid nade is purples. Purples are great. Purples are when you hit an enemy, or preferably multiple enemies, with a nade, and they turn purple. It does some damage to it, and then it stops them from being able to receive healing for a bit. And that is fantastic offensive contribution. The second thing that we get into is self-heals. These are not as good as purples. In fact, our preference would be to let our other support heal us back up, but sometimes they're not paying attention to us. Sometimes divers jump on us and we're locked into a duel. Self-heals with nades happen. They're an acceptable use of the nade. Third, amp heals. I'm not referring to Lucio's amp ability. I am referring to the we've capitalized that H, whatever. I am referring to the fact that when you throw a nade at someone, they are then going to receive increased healing by 50% for the duration of the nade. And it can be worth it to go, hey, my Reinhardt is critical, or hey, my Reinhardt or Zarya is missing a lot of health, and I need to not just get this heal on them from the nade. That is not enough to justify the nade in most situations. I need to hit them with this nade because they are taking damage and they're going to keep taking damage, and I need the plus 50% heal receive effect to either keep up with them with my following shots to keep them alive, or I need the amped heal effect so that I can get them back up to a place where I'm confident and comfortable taking a couple meaningful offensive shots to shoot at that Genji that's setting up, to make that Pharah go back behind cover. That kind of thing is what I'm looking to do, and I'm going to take advantage of my amped heal effect to get my target back to a place where I'm comfortable pivoting away for a moment to get that offensive shot value. These are your main three. These are your main three. This is how most of you should be using nades most of the time. Now I'm going to draw a line because there are more nade types that you can use that aren't wrong. So here we get into this, and here we go, group heal. This can be okay, but should not be a regular nade. You see, hey, a lot of people are missing health. I want to do this as an uptime thing. This is specifically me going, 3 people are missing health, 4 people are missing health. Rather than take the time to shoot at all of them, I want to go ahead and do a group heal nade so I can transition to doing something else. That's sort of like the amp heal effect, where you're going, I'm throwing this nade because it'll let me start doing something else useful, where you could amp heal nade a tank and then go, this amp healed the tank, not just the heal itself, but then it made my next 2-3 shots do more, which let me go take offensive shots. And you can think of this group heal as a similar way. It's getting multiple people healed up, which lets you then go do something more useful, like tunnel heal a tank that is taking a lot of damage, take offensive shots, rotate to where you need to. That can potentially be valid, but you want to do it when there's actually a need for it. You don't want to just go, oh, I'm nading because multiple people are missing health. You're doing it when there's actually danger, when they might actually need that healing. Like if we look at what's on screen right now, a group nade would not be very good because there's no reason that the Ana, the Ashe, the Zarya can't just go behind cover for a moment to get healed up if we need to. Another type of uptime nade we can run into is the either reload nade. Yeah, we'll cover that. This is definitely more advanced. The reload nade, where Ana has a specific reload action to her weapon where she actually sees the clip go back up from 0 to 12, 3 to 12, whatever, and then she's still got like half of her reload time left when this has gone back up to 12 before she can use her weapon again. So sometimes as an uptime thing, you're going to cancel the second half of the reload. You can't do it early, but the second half of the reload after this says 12 with an ability, and that could be nade or sleep dart. So that's an uptime thing. That's okay. And then finally, we're going to get into the Recoil Nade. So what this is this is something that you guys are probably familiar with when you're trying to take down people that you've slept, where it's a case of, hey, I slept someone, or even if you didn't sleep someone, you're going, I'm going to shoot, then I'm going to weave an ability, then I'm going to hit another shot. And it's because there's a fairly lengthy delay between Anna's primary fire shots, where it's shot, and then you have something in like 0.7 to 0.9 seconds before her next shot can be fired. So you can get the shoot, nade, shoot, or shoot, sleep, shoot. So all 6 of these are effectively valid nades, but for you guys who are sub-diamond, for you guys who aren't going, hey, I'm trying to push every little bit of uptime, I really have good stuff to do, these top 3 are your primary nades, and what you're really looking to do is to combine these nades. So you're going, hey, I want to get a purple plus an amp teal on my tank. That's really good. In general, your nade should be thrown a little bit in front of your tanks when your tanks are brawling, or when someone's dove in onto another support or yourself. You're going, hey, I'm getting myself heal plus I'm getting the purple. That can be useful. But you're looking to go, hey, this nade gets me and someone that dove me. Or this nade gets the Reinhardt that's pushing into my Reinhardt and gets the amp effect on my Reinhardt. You're looking for these. You will notice that combining these is generally very good. You're looking to go, hey, I got the group heal and I got the purple, or I got the group heal and I got the amplified effect. So mixing multiple of these together, definitely something you want to do. The things that you will notice are not on this list. It's very intentional. We do not throw our nade out as Anna just because we missed a shot or two on someone and we're worried that they're going to get annoyed that we haven't healed them yet and that they're going to judge us. No, nade is not a crutch to cover for the fact that we missed heals. Nade is not for that. Nade is not a, oh, I missed too many shots, now I need to throw a nade. No, that's not what it's for. Nade is not a, I'm not confident I can hit the shot. Nade is not a, I would like to get another heal out. No, nade is not a, hey, let my team get back faster. Nade is specifically mostly for these top 3 categories that you're looking for. Again, not for missed shots. Nade is not a crutch for I missed some shots, so now to let my Genji get back into the fight faster, I'm going to just go, oh fine, and throw a nade at him. What I recommend you guys do is if you miss a shot or two on a hero that you're trying to heal, you calm yourself down just for an instant. It doesn't have to be like a full second, but you just pause for just a moment and you go, it's fine. You settle yourself down mentally, even if it's just for like a fraction of a second to do it, and then you calm down and take your shot. And if you're more comfortable with scope shots, zoom in and take your scope shot. If you're more comfortable with your hip shot, go ahead and take your hip shot. If you miss the shot, no big deal, especially no big deal if they're behind cover waiting to get back into the action. Yes, it would be better if you could hit them. No, it would not be so much better that it's worth spending your nade to let them get back into the action. I promise. So with your nades, your most important thing is to look for these purples. Please look for more of these purples. These are great. These are how you do good work. These other types of nades will happen. That's fine. Please do not go every time your Reinhardt gets in there like, oh, it's going to be fine. Every time my Reinhardt takes damage, every time my Reinhardt is swinging, every time my Orisa or whatever is up there, I'm throwing the nade at them, and I'm doing it for the amped heal. No, it's okay to do amp teal stuff, but that is not the primary way you are looking to use the nade. This is not an excuse for you to go, oh, my Reinhardt took an inch, a tiny little bit of damage. My Zarya took a tiny little bit of damage. Let me go ahead and get the amp heal effect on them. No, you need to actually want that to be able to then have uptime on other things, or you need that to recover. And preferably it's going to be a group healer. Preferably it's also going to get the purples. The final thing that I'm going to cover here is how to get off your offensive nades, because I've hit on offensive nades so hard. It's not about getting closer to the fight. I see a lot of Annas try to get closer to fights to use their offensive abilities. That is not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is to go take an angle. So instead of being here to hit our nade, we might go, hey, I have this offensive angle to hit my nade. That's how you get off your offensive abilities. And if your team is really stalling out, can't get work done, just isn't winning stuff, hitting more offensive abilities is generally the way to break it, and you do that by taking different angles from your team. Instead of going, hey, I'm fighting from right behind my team, you go, okay, I hit this nade. Or if we're pushing offensively, my team's trying to go here, and maybe I go in here, and I get this nade, and then I pivot right back to being in this place where I can support my team well. That's what you're looking to do. Or if this is fighting, more on point here, you might be going, hey, I'm right behind my team, that's fine. Let me change my angle a bit through Hunter's Lodge so that I have a different angle to hit the other team. That's what you're looking for. Okay, so that covers Nades. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to Nanos, because Nanos are the other really easy category to improve on as an Ana. With Nano, we're going to think about a couple things. The first thing that we're going to think about is it is not to encourage people to engage. It is to, how shall I put this? It is for people that are already engaged. So Nano is not to engage. You're not nanoing your Reinhardt, your Zarya, your Genji, your Soldier, your Reaper to tell them to go in to engage. You are nanoing your hero that you're going to nano when they are already doing something that starts the fight. With your Genji, that might be, hey, your Genji has dashed up above the enemy team fight. Okay, the team fight is happening because he's dashed above them and he's not going to be able to get out. Or he's above them and he's pulling out his blade. So the fight has started. He's pulling out his blade. We're nanoing him. You'll notice we didn't start the fight with Nano. He did that. Or we could nano a Reinhardt that's swinging at the other team. But we do not nano that Reinhardt to tell the Reinhardt to get in to swing at the other team. We nano that Reinhardt when he has already closed enough distance to the enemies that he wants to swing at that he's either already swinging at them or in range that he can be swinging at them. We do not want to nano our Reinhardt when he's 4, 5, 6 steps away from the opposing team because he is just going to get kited. So we are not nanoing to tell people to engage. We are nanoing specifically when the fight has already started. But what we're generally looking to do is we're looking to, and this holds true for all ults, early in the fight. For most ults in this game, when you want to use them, is you're going to get the most value when it's still like a 6v6, a 5v6, a 5v5 type territory. So you want to use them early in the fight. You'd preferably like to use them when your team is committed to the fight, when the other team is committed to the fight. And what that means is they're going to either team would have to spend meaningful resources to get out. Either they'd have to rotate and take a lot of resource damage to shields, to health, and all that, or they'd have to use meaningful cooldowns like nades, personal bubbles, speed boosts, etc. to get out, and your team would get a lead. So once they're committed to the fight, and committed means, again, it would cost them meaningful resources to get out. And brawl teams, that means they're close together. With dive teams, that means a dive has happened, and now one team would have to use meaningful resources to get out. And with more poke-based team, that means, okay, one or both teams are set up with aggressive angles that really hard threaten the other team. That's probably the hardest to recognize when the fight has started in more poke-based comps. So far, we don't use the nano to engage. We use it when the person who's going to get it has already committed to the fight, when our team has committed to the fight in some way and the other team would have trouble backing out. And we want to use it early in the fight. We don't want to nano into a 1v4. We don't want to nano into a 1v3, a 2v5. We want to nano, if we can, when it's like a 6v6, 5v5, 5v6, 6v5 type territory. Sometimes you're going to break that rule and nano in a 3v3, absolutely, and that's fine, but this is generally how you want to be looking at it. It's okay to get the heal value from the nano, but the heal value is the least important part of the nano. So, you know what, rather than cover heals, let's actually cover combos. Combos are good. Specifically, we're going to look for Nano Blade is good, Nano Visor is still pretty good. You're going to get some value out of, what was I saying? Nano Blade, Nano Visors, Nano Blossom, those all have some pretty good value. Those can be solid, especially if you have something else like a defense matrix, a bubble to enable it. But if you don't have those targets available, you're looking for brawly tanks generally as your targets. There's other acceptable targets. It can be worth it to go, hey, I'm nanoing this Ashe who has a really aggressive angle. I'm nanoing this Hanzo that just got dove by 3 people. Like, it can be okay to use it in other ways, but your default nano target in your tier list is going to be, hey, we're going for combos. If we don't have a combo, we're looking for something brawly. That could be a Reinhardt that's already in there swinging. That can be a Doomfist that just went in. That can be a Reaper that's in. That can be a Zarya. That could be an Orisa that's been pushed on or is pushed in herself. We're looking at, that can be a Diva that's already in. Winston's a great one. Probably like Ryan, Zarya, Winston. Probably like Ryan, probably Winston, Reaper, Reinhardt are sort of your Doom. Winston, Ryan Reaper are sort of your top tier. Then you've got like Doomfist, Zarya. Then you've sort of got like Diva, Orisa. Those are all valid targets. But what you're looking for there is the more brawly targets. Not May, but in general, your more brawly targets when they're already in is when you want to hit those nanos. Again, it's okay to sometimes go for the heal value. We can go for that. The heal value on nano isn't terrible, but I have to be honest, it is the least valuable part of nano. The increased damage done and the increased damage reduction are both more valuable. You're going to get more power out of that. The heal is the most useful, specifically when someone is being dove. You don't want to use the heal value for, oh, I nanoed someone to heal them when they were in a poke fight. That's not really helpful. Nanoing them when they got dove can be good. Nanoing tanks when they're brawling, letting them brawl hard for a second, then nanoing them so they can stay in. Same thing with like a Reaper or a Doomfist. That has value. So I've given you guys a pretty good guide here for nades. I've given you guys a pretty good guide here for nano. This has mostly been the what to do, sort of what level of importance for them, for both of those abilities that are absolutely huge abilities in terms of Nano's influence in a fight and aren't actually that hard to use. They're pretty easy to upgrade your usage of them to get good value out of. So I'm hoping this is going to be helpful to a lot of you guys. If it is helpful, definitely let me know in the comments. Feel free to like and subscribe. That really does help me out. Or if you guys are looking to get more personal coaching for yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, see what my rates look like, see what sort of events we have going on, all that good stuff here. And I think with that, we're going to cover it. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.